Okay. So I would learn through further research that people in all areas of life, be it high school teachers, police, city councilmen, physicians, lawyers, judges, politicians, presidents, or kings of the earth, are these Luciferians. Before I get into blaming this all on Masons, you can find out that a lot of these people are, in fact, high-level Masons. The lower-level Masons are no different than people who go to church, who are just the ones that appear to be good, the ones that appear to be godly, because the Masons are keen to use a lot of biblical scripture and biblical imagery. But the lower level ones do not know what's going on at the higher levels. They are initiated into higher levels. And that's a whole other story. But it's only up past the 30th to the 31st or 2nd or 33rd degree levels of Masonry that you learn that the person or the thing that is giving them the knowledge, because they are acquiring knowledge, that's the ladder that they're, or the staircase that they're walking up to become enlightened, an enlightened one, or an Illuminati member, that Lucifer is their light bearer. Anyway, Morals and Dogma, by the way, that's the book right here that I have, just in case people say I don't have it. I do, in fact, have it, where it says that Lucifer is their light bearer, and that is a Masonic book. So anyway, these people, as crazy as this sounds, and get over your Hollywood imagery, believe that Lucifer is the people liberator, and they worship, sacrifice to, and honor better than probably any Christian I know who claims to worship God. These people are serious, and it's why they get into the levels of power that they do, because Lucifer, it even says in the Bible, is the god of this world. Lowercase g, of course, because there's only one God, and he is the creator of everything. But we'll save that for another video. Right now, if I can try and stick to the point, is my testimony of becoming who I am today, and that I am capable of calling myself a Bible believer. So anyway, I'm getting out of my car to go into my house, if I can go back to that. And I'd just been driving home from work, if you remember, and I was feeling kind of spooked that something was following me. And so I decided finally to get out of my car and to make my way into the house. When I do this, I'm going through a kitchen door, and mind you, because remember I said that the guy Ernie that I lived with only had vision in 1/3 of one eye. He is very sensitive to light, so his house is pitch black because he has dark curtains on everything because he has to block the sun, otherwise he gets sensitivity. So it is pitch black in my house, but all of a sudden I could see, like out of my mind's eye, as I'm walking through the first room that comes in through the garage, which is the kitchen, I all of a sudden have 5 faces in my peripheral vision at my shoulders. I have 3 over here, 3 over here, and 2 over here. And this lower one turns at me and opens up its mouth. And I just kind of remember a vision of sharp teeth. And it almost looks like he's going to bite me. And I kind of go like this and start to rush down the hallway to my bedroom. Now, really quickly about these guys, they look like aliens. They just look like the little gray things that you've seen in Hollywood films. Believe me, what you see in Hollywood films is not just for your entertainment. I believe a lot of what you see is real. But they have the gray faces with the big, they're just black eyes. I remember they sort of looked fuzzy, kind of like a black and white television screen. I don't recall any kind of a nose or even slits for a nose, maybe slits for a nose, but I didn't really even see a mouth until this lower one over here opened it. So if I, in fact, wanted to just believe in aliens, I would have been convinced that aliens exist. But I'm telling you right now, you alien believers, with all due respect and from the bottom of my heart, I am telling you, aliens, demons, same thing. Define aliens to yourself. What are they? Not of this world. They're not in human form, but they can present themselves in a form, but they're not of this world. They're intergalactic, so to speak. Well, what is an angel? They're also not of this world, not of necessarily human form, not tangible. But the Bible does say that angels, and in this case, the fallen angels, can manifest and transform themselves. So if they can manifest and transform themselves, they can get you to believe anything that they want to. Anything that they want to. Which is why they're called in the Bible, they're exposed as deceptive spirits. But anyway, so that's what I saw. Moving on. I knew at this particular time, these were demons. These were demonic. It was totally made clear to me. Call it through mental telepathy or whatever. I knew that these were not aliens. I knew them as demons. And I rushed down the hallway and went into my room. I would have gotten home at this time and been in my room by 10:30 p.m. The minute I got into my room, I shut the door behind me without not even turning around because I didn't want to see these guys anymore. I just shut my door. It would be at that moment, because I would wake up 3 hours later and look at the clock on my cable box and have it say it's 1:30 in the morning. And I was on the floor. So it was at that moment that I was unconscious. I had dropped to the floor. And when you hear the term, my life flashed before my eyes, if you've heard that term, that is exactly what happened to me. And I was shown in a very loving but a very direct way what I had been doing in the course of my life. Some of the examples are, I remember one time I went with my girlfriend, Billie Jean, to the pier on the 4th of July in Newport Beach, California, which is where I lived. And I didn't make it home because, and I had both of my kids who were old enough to be at the house by themselves. But I had plans with them to take them to the Huntington Beach Pier and see the fireworks, but I never made it home because it was the first time I had ever been introduced to Jell-O shots. And well, I had a lot of them. And by the time I did get home, I had been driving drunk. I had thrown up all over myself in my car, and I crawled out of my truck at probably 3 in the morning. But I was shown that night. And when I was shown just a part of that night, just a very quick flash, but crystal clear, there was a comforting voice in my head, not a tangible voice. I can't tell you, it was more I couldn't tell you like the tone of it or whatever, but it was more of my conscience speaking to me. It was speaking to me through my conscience. And the voice said to me, "This is dangerous. This is affecting more than just you. This is not good. This is why you should be sober-minded." Basically, it was telling me that my sin in that moment was getting drunk. And look at the bad decisions that I made. Another thing that it showed me was me. We used to go to these clubs in Newport Beach. Like, I loved dancing. And so I would find myself in the bars on the weekends with my friends and be dancing. And it was dancing that got a lot of attention. both male and female. But anyway, I was shown that in a moment where I had a crowd around me and I was dancing. And that subconscious voice said, this is a big one, you are guilty for the sins that you make others commit. The sins I was making other people commit at that time was probably lust.